I think there's a resurgence of anti-Semitism because at this point in time, Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural. And I think we're going to be part of the throes of that transformation, which must take place. Europe is not going to be the monolithic societies that they once were in the last century. Jews are going to be at the center of that. It's a huge transformation for Europe to make. They are now going into a multicultural mode, and Jews will be resented because of our leading role. But without that leading role and without that transformation, Europe will not survive.
Just briefly, there you are in Germany. Isn't the situation there indicative of the rest of the European continent, where we're actually seeing the EU expanding more and more? How do you now see the future of the issue of immigration developing now across the whole of the European continent, based on what you're seeing there in Germany?
This is a very good point, because immigration is the future. You cannot work and live in a globalized world, in the middle of the world, in Europe, without immigration and moving populations. So you have to really make a good policy of immigration all over Europe. And we see this, that the history of Europe, with this long history of nationalism and small countries, is now getting into a crisis. So this will need a long time to make it better. But you have to confront this. You have to really change the policy of immigration inside Europe. This is very important. You have to adapt the educational system and adapt all the self-understanding of the states. They are not anymore only white or only Swedish or only Portuguese or only German. They are multicultural places in the world.
Annette Kahane, thank you very much indeed for sharing your opinions with us live here on RT. Founder of the Amadeo Antonio Foundation, joining us there live in Berlin. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Denn nur Hochzeiten, die den Rabbinersegen haben, sind per Gesetz vom Staat anerkannt. Rabbiner David Shapira, der sich zu Hause auf die Hochzeit vorbereitet, findet das völlig in Ordnung. Denn so steht es geschrieben.
Nach dem jüdischen Gesetz musst du genau prüfen, ob Braut und Bräutigam wirklich jüdisch sind oder nicht. Hier in Israel kommen die Menschen aus 1000 verschiedenen Ländern, Gott sei Dank. Aber wir müssen prüfen, wo sind deren Wurzeln? Wo sind heute die alten Ägypter, die alten Römer, die Spartaner? Wo sind sie? Mischmasch, durch Mischehen sind sie verschwunden. Welches Volk gibt es bis heute? Uns. Die Juden. Nur uns, angefangen mit Stammvater Abraham bis zum Ende der Welt.
Nur Rabbiner dürfen Juden verheiraten. Muss das Gesetz geändert werden?
Ja, natürlich.
Hat das eine Chance?
Nein.
I fredags sändes ett inslag i amerikanska tv-kanalen Fox News om stadsdelen Rosengård i Malmö. Ett inslag som har väckt starka känslor och debatt här hemma i Sverige. Så här såg det ut.
Swedish authorities have their hands full in the southern city of Malmö with an explosion of Muslim immigrants. 90% of them unemployed, many angry, taking it out on the country that took them in.
If we park our car, that will be damaged. So we have to go very often 2 vehicles. One just to protect the other vehicle and so on.
Fear of violence has changed the way police, firemen, and emergency workers do their jobs. There are some neighborhoods these Swedish ambulance drivers do not go into without a police escort. They've come under threat from angry crowds who tell them which patients to take, which patients to leave behind. The most liberal asylum laws in Europe mean a city of 1/4 million is now 1/4 Muslim, changing the face and the idea of what it means to be Swedish. Asylum seekers may bring spouses, brothers, grandparents. Civil servants say the city is swamped.
Do you have 1,000 pupils in a Swedish school?
Yeah.
How many are Swedes?
2.
Students arrive at age 10 or 12 from Iraq, Iran, Lebanon, with no knowledge of Swedish. Some have never been to school at all. Special classes require interpreters. Even then, more than half won't graduate.
They are not a part of the Swedish society, so to speak. It's difficult for them to get into the society.
And yet they are the most rapidly growing segment of Swedish society, outsiders who are already inside, posing a challenge to legendary Swedish tolerance. Tolerance that has been stretched to the breaking point. The city's main mosque was recently set ablaze by arsonists. When firefighters arrived on the scene to rescue the building, they were attacked by stone throwers. In Malmo, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.